shoulders. Taking a few breaths in through the nose, out through the nose or the mouth. Wherever you're sitting, however you're sitting, the spine is as straight as you can get it without force. When we roll the shoulders up, back and down, lift the collarbones, rock side to side, forward and back. All of these things help us find our seat. Every time we come to yoga, it feels different. Tipping the chin up or down, even side to side. Calm, actively calm. The eyes could be closed or softly open, staring at a downward gaze. Scanning your own body from one end to the other. The breath is naturally coming and going, washing over us, through us. You might even notice your own exhales, softening something inside to out, outside to in. You can always bring your fingertips to the floor. Another grounding technique. We're not forcing, we're just noticing and returning to the breath. At the nostrils, you might notice the breath. Maybe you notice movement in the torso. There might be one place that you choose to stay, anchored to the breath. Breathing front to back, side to side, up and down the central channel of the body. Waking up the spine with just bringing our attention there. Where our attention goes, our prana, healing energy will flow. The prana comes in on the breath, moves up and down the central channel, and then when you exhale, wherever your attention goes, send your healing prana wherever needs extra attention. Your skin, your heart, your brain, wherever. You might even begin to deepen your breath. Notice it. Three-part breath, possibly connecting back closely to the breath. Inhaling from the belly to the ribs to the chest. Exhaling, chest, ribs, belly. Possibly layering on the Ujjayi sound. Tapping into that sound at the back of the throat, the hollow sound, as if you were fogging a mirror. You might even whisper ah to come to that place. The wave of your breath, the ebb and flow, is different every time. Sometimes deeper, fuller, more rhythmic, other times bumpy, choppy, shallow. Just like the ocean. Natural breath returns if you are practicing Ujjayi or 3-part. You could softly open your eyes if they were closed. Coming back to our space. We'll stretch in the seated position. If you need to adjust your seat, you will. The movement of the arms stretching out and overhead follows the breath. When your arms are overhead, you could stretch a little side to side. Can you feel the stretch front to back of the torso, side to side? Exhale, float the arms down. We'll do that again. Inhale begins, movement follows, stretching. The arms could be away from the ears, if your shoulders are hunching, that is. Exhale, float the arms down. For me, I feel like just that little stretch made me not need as much length. Inhale, arms follow, out and up. This time, we're gonna come into a gentle twist. One arm comes behind, the other hand can be at the feet. The gaze is forward to start. Come back to that central channel, positioning crown over tail. If you want to bring the front hand to the opposite knee, deepening the twist, you could, but not if the shoulders hunch up. Move the tip of the nose a little, maybe circling. Stay here for a couple of breaths, waking up the spine even more. Maybe chin over one shoulder for a breath, chin over opposite shoulder for another breath. Continuing to learn that all the poses start at the central channel. We move from the center of the spine. And we return back to the spine in the posture. Slowly unwind. Receive the effects. If you're sitting cross-legged, You might even change the cross of your legs. It'll feel different for sure. Float the arms out and overhead before we try the other side. It's pretty important to get long first, making any movements side to side, arms as straight as comfortable for you, and then slowly twist to the other side, keeping the gaze forward to start, using the hand behind to help, but then toning the core to keep the lower back upright. The advantage of the Zoom class is we can see ourselves in the screen. Crown over tail. Move the tip of your nose if you want. Change the position of the front hand if you want. It's up to you. Maybe you prefer slowly turning chin over shoulder. But we always return to the central channel. Center. The spine. Slowly unwind. Back to neutral. Receiving the effects. From here, we'll come into table. The table position, knees are under the hips, the heels of the hands could be right under the shoulders if it feels good, or a little forward. And you could fan your fingers out to the side like the flippers of a seal, if that feels better. And then take your time, bring your attention to the root of the spine, the tailbone. When you're a cow in the field, the arch at the lower back, the tailbone is curling up, shoulders are broad away from the ears. And then when you tuck the tail and move into the cat, keep coming back to the tailbone, originating the movement at that place as you tuck and curl the tailbone, moving from cats to cows. Inviting flex back into the spine, the lower spine. If you were really active yesterday, like I was, you'll definitely feel this. If you already took a walk on the beach this morning, like Tracy does all the time, you'll also feel this. We're inviting space back into the central channel. So you know what the hunch feels like, and you know what the arch feels like. Come back to neutral. There's a little curve at the lower back. Side bends. Hip towards shoulder. Hip doesn't want to move that far. Or shoulder towards hip. Gaze is down. The head is just going along for the ride. There's a little tone in the belly. See what that feels like. And then back to neutral. And we'll come into child pose. You can curl your toes under and come into extended child. The knees could stay hip distance. Elbows lifted in extended child, but you might prefer full out child. You could splay your knees open, big toes touching. Rest your forehead wherever it's comfortable. Return to your breath. Feel the belly swell against or between the thighs. As you inhale, feel the back ribs expand to the side as you draw the breath from your belly to your ribs, to your chest. Heart center is in the middle of the shoulder blades, connected to the middle of the chest. Conscious breathing. And wherever your forehead is resting, feel the gentle press there as you breathe in and out. You could bring your attention to the spiritual eye. An intention for your class today. You might begin the intention with I am. Sat Nam. Kundalini Yoga uses Sat Nam, chants Sat Nam. Maybe one word pops up for you today. Calm, happy, joy, flexible. Don't think about it too much. Inhale. Back to table. Stretch the arms forward. If your knees were splayed, bring them back to hip distance. You could bring the blocks to start with the lunge series. So the hands, again, heels of the hands under the shoulders or a little forward. If you use the blocks, the fingers hang off the front. Bring the right foot forward, help it up there. Hips are heavy, shoulders are broad. Take a breath in from the back foot, all the way up through the heart. Expand the heart. Exhale, tailbone back. You can bring the blocks with you in the higher position to prevent us from rounding. Pulsing the front foot up and down. So if my hands were on the floor, you could see that I might be rounded. Bringing the hands a little higher helps us prevent the round. Next time the front foot is towards the floor, leave it there and just shift your tail side to side. It feels good. Coming forward to the original position. You can adjust your legs so your knee is comfortable. We're going to let go of the blocks. Standing, kneeling, float the arms up. Heart is open, hips are heavy. Breathe. Open the throat if you like. Exhale, bend the elbows. Pinch the lower shoulder blades towards each other. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, pinch. Inhale, and then release. Dragging the front foot back and bringing the left foot forward. Right away. Using the blocks if you want to or need to, or not. Hips are heavy. Keep the front knee tracking over the ankle. Low lunge. Shoulders are broad. Exhale, tail back, front leg starts to straighten. Hands walk back. The chest only comes as close to the outstretched front leg as you can keep the round out of your back. Pulse the front foot. So using blocks is really helpful. So there's another style of yoga called Iyengar. Iyengar uses blocks, straps, all the props because alignment is their focus. Rounding the back. Maybe they would come around with a yardstick and whack you in the middle of the back to remind you not to round. It's a militant form of yoga. Breathe here. Shift your hips a bit side to side if you haven't already. And then come back to the neutral position, the low lunge. Adjust your back knee closer or your front foot back. Find the standing kneeling position. Inhale, float the arms up. They might widen. Open the heart. Breathe. Maybe open the throat, but leave space at the back of the neck so you're not crunching there. Exhale, bend the elbows. Pinch the lower shoulders. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Slowly come out. From here, you'll drag your front foot back. Some people in my classes actually use the blocks to come into downward dog. Your fingers would be hanging off. Keep the knees bent. Pedal the feet. Stay here for a few breaths. See what it feels like. So when the knees are bent, the heart comes closer towards the thighs. You might not like this. You might rather do puppy dog. Hips are high over the knees. Heart melts, whether you're in the downward dog or puppy dog. Let your heart melt. If it doesn't hurt your shoulders to be in the full out downward dog, can you equalize your entire body weight over arms and legs equally? We're all going to come into a forward bend. So creep your hands and your feet towards each other, a baby step at a time. Move your props and just breathe. Knees are bent, upside down. Some people do not like their head below their heart. If you have undue pressure in your eyes, you could be at this point, head in line with the heart. We're all going to come here at one point anyway, so you might like to stay here. If you don't mind the head being lower with the knees bent, you could sway a bit side to side. Feet are planted, torso is heavy. Creating space in the forward fold. Let go of your elbows. If you are holding there, bend the knees straight ahead. Hands to the knees. Half lift. You can look at your feet. They could be closer than hip distance. Take the round out of the back. Keep the right knee bent. Straighten the left leg. Inhale, open the left arm. Breathe. You could circle your hand. You could look up with a tucked chin if your neck is all right with that. Slowly close the twist. 2 knees bend straight ahead. Keep the left knee bent and now straighten the right. Inhale, open the right arm. One side is always different. Tuck your chin if you choose to look up at your thumb. Circle your right hand if you like it. One way, the other way. And then close the twist. 2 knees bend straight ahead. Tuck the tail and curl up. Once you're upright, you might roll the shoulders. Take any movements here. It always feels different. Breathing. Mountain pose. The feet could be hip distance, the bony part of the hip right inside, right here for me. Or closer if you feel stable today. We're still grounding down, centered and grounded. Central channel. Heart center. I am kind to myself. I live in peace and gratitude. Fingers stretch down, but collarbones stay up. Take any movements to feel comfortable here. Even though the legs look straight, can you soften your knees? Leave space at the neck, and then step out wide. Preparing for warrior two. You'll pivot your feet towards the left. You step out as wide as comfortable for your hips. Bend the front knee. Keep the central channel, crown over tail. Keep the front knee over the ankle or less, but never rolling in. Float the arms out. Moving Vinyasa is a style of yoga where we move in and out of the posture, breathing, and then finding a place that feels comfortable. In warrior two, looking over the left hand, the palms could be up to remind the shoulders to stay down. Breathing. Inhale, straighten the front leg, hands together at the heart, returning to the central channel and breathing. Exhale, drop the arms, pivot the feet in the opposite direction. Bend and straighten. See what happens. On this side, look at the screen, find the central channel. So we're not lunging forward, pretend someone's pulling your back arm. Find that central channel. Look over the right middle finger. Palms could be up or down, even one palm up or down. If the front knee is rolling in, take care to keep it over the ankle, over the little toe side of the foot. Inhale, straighten the front leg, 10 toes forward, hands to the heart. Rest, receive, right back to center. Surrendering to this moment in time. Exhale, drop the arms, pivot the feet, again towards the left, bend the front knee, over the little toe side of the foot. Look over the left palm. Palm is up, preparing for reverse warrior. Follow the palm with your eyes, your gaze. When you can't look up anymore, maybe look down behind you at your little toe. Breathe. Some people prefer to have the upper arm curl around the head. Others like the arms straight up. Slowly rise up. 10 toes straight ahead, hands to the heart. Back to center. Exhale, arms float down. Pivot the feet, preparing for reverse warrior. We come through warrior two. Without lunging forward, I just had to check myself. And then floating the right palm up, following with your eyes. When you can't look up anymore, You can look down behind you at your little toe, but I'm still thinking about my front bent knee over the front little toe, taking care not to let the front knee roll in. Breathe into both side bodies. Slowly come out of the posture, 10 toes forward, hands to the heart. You could creep your feet a little closer, breathing. Release. Bend the knees. Heart is facing forward. You could bring your fingers facing in. Get long in the spine, the central channel. Your gaze could be down. The hands on the knees are going to help us here. Keep the lower body strong and steady. Get long in the central channel and then drop one shoulder and look over the other. The hands help the knees be equal. Inhale through center, reaching the chest one way and the tail the other way. Exhale, opposite shoulder drops down. Come back to neutral. Long, straight back, straighten the legs, heels out, toes in, forward fold. You could use a block here like we've done before. It might feel better for your back. You might adjust your feet wider, heels out, toes in. Find the central channel, find the space between the bones in the spine. You could even shift your hips or your tail slightly side to side. See what that feels like. Even here, some people choose to keep their head in line with their heart. Others like to fold and even rest their head on a chair seat or a block, bowing down. Your fingertips might be in line with your toe tips. If it feels comfortable, that is. To come out of the posture, you would come to the halfway position, slow and steady, and then soften the knees and creep the feet closer and closer towards each other. A baby step at a time. When the 2 feet are hip distance apart, bend the knees forward, tuck the tail if you need to, and curl up. Woo! You could roll the shoulders. Right back to mountain pose. Breathing, feeling. From here, we'll try warrior one. You can use the back of the chair if you want to or need to as a prop to steady ourselves. Actually, I'm gonna try it like this. So bring the right foot forward. The hips and the shoulders are facing the narrow part of the mat. I'm gonna bring my toes, my front toes, right under the chair seat. So I widen my feet like train tracks to keep my hips side by side, my chest point side by side, and then I bend my knee. The front knee bends. I like using the chair because I know that my knee is not going to go beyond my toes. Open your heart, breathe. Back legs will look straight, but for some of us, the knee has to bend a little. It might feel good to lean forward and then come back to the upright, open heart. Reach the arms up as high as comfortable, or like goal pose. Breathe. Feet are planted. There's a little tone at the core, tucking the tail and lifting up, squeezing even the perineum. Float the arms down and behind. Maybe you can hold your hands together or one thumb or your elbows. Open the heart and then bow forward. Depending on you, you could bring your hands to your front leg or the chair. Step the back foot forward and curl up. Right back to heart center. Bringing the palms together at heart center helps us come back to center. And then we'll try the other side. Right foot back, left toes creep forward. The front knee bends as much as comfortable for you. Try to get your hips level. That might mean widening the feet. Chest points side by side, shoulders side by side. Leaning forward if it feels good on the back, and then pressing the feet down, sweeping the arms up, straight or wide or goalposts. Feet are pressing down for stability in Warrior One, peaceful Warrior One. You could even come back to a Mona Lisa smile or more. Some teachers say, no expression in the face. Float the arms down and behind, holding one thumb maybe, or hooking your thumbs to expand the chest, maybe open the throat. Bowing down. Let go of the clasp. You can use your hands on your front thigh or the chair. Slowly return to mountain pose. Centering with the palms together. Receiving. Releasing. Feel the shift in energy. There's no need to rush ever. We'll do one more standing pose, palm tree. It's good for our toes, for our whole body. You can use the back of the chair. So palm tree is a balancing position even though we're on 2 feet. You'll bring your attention right down to the soles of the feet, grounding here. Take any movements in the shoulders, head, or neck, and then palm tree. We breathe and rock forward into the balls of the feet, the heels and the arms lift. You might be holding on to the back of the chair with 1 or 2 fingers. I've been practicing this a lot from February till now. So I feel pretty comfortable, but here's where I started. Fingertips on the back of the chair, 10 toes rooted, Mona Lisa smile, maybe one arm lifts, and then slowly lower arms and heels. 2 more times. If you used one arm, you'll lift the other, holding on, but not for dear life. Of course we're wobbling. Slowly release. And then one more time. Inhale, rock forward. Heels lift, maybe the arms, maybe one arm. Soften the face. Let the wobble happen as your gaze is steady. Slowly release, right back to neutral. Palms together. drop your hands. From here, we're going to do a vinyasa or a sun salutation to come down to the floor. You can use a chair or blocks if you want. I feel like showing you the full out. So we're forward on our mat. I don't have a lot of room here though. Mountain pose. When we were together in the studio long ago, oftentimes we would play the song by Cat Stevens, Morning Has Broken. Maybe you know that and you'll sing it to yourself in your head. Inhale, the arms halfway up. Exhale, palms together. Inhale, you can float the arms however you want as you reach them up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Legs could stay bent to take the round out of the back. Exhale, fold. Hands to the chair, the blocks, or the floor. Step one foot back, then the other. Could be downward dog, puppy or child. Knees down, hips back. Oh. Slither forward as close as comfortable for you on the floor. Coming into Sphinx or Cobra. Legs could be squeezing, ankles squeezing. You will only come up as high as comfortable for you. And then release. Hands beside the chest, under the shoulders, press yourself up. You could come into extended child, downward dog, puppy dog, whatever is good for you. Sometimes going upside down feels really good. Differently than usual. We're going to bring the knees down. Step one foot forward. Back knee lifts, then the other foot. Curling up. Coming up safely. Leaning back if you like it. Dropping the tail. Hands to the heart. One more time. Inhale. Morning has broken. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Some people like to energize themselves in plank. Knees up or down. Downward dog could be fine for you. And then the belly down position. Inhale, use your strong legs, your breath to fuel your legs to come into whatever back bend is good for you. Exhale, release. Reach one arm overhead and roll onto your back. Oh. Take your time. When you roll over, get comfortable. Knees could be bent and you could loosely flap the knees side to side. Eventually, come into stillness. Enjoy it. From here, we'll come into four square, the hip opener, because we're warm in our hips right now after those two sun salutations. I have a block near me to show you how you can deepen this posture. So four square, left ankle to right knee, that's first, and this might be enough for you. Second place, you could creep your right foot closer and closer, lifting off the heel. And here's where the block could come under the right foot, deepening the hip opener. Some people like to use a strap under the right thigh or their hands if they have long monkey arms like me. You wouldn't do this with your hands if your shoulders are hunching up. Keep your shoulders down. Your face relax. Deepen your hip opener the way you like to. You could rock a little side to side. Notice how when you shift your weight or your legs to the right, you feel it more in the left hip. Hip opener. 2 hips get level, and then we're in alignment according to Iyengar. They wouldn't want us listening to one side or the other, but listening side to side helps us know where the 2 hips can be level. Slowly release. Uncross. If you used a block, you'll push it to the other side. You can loosely flap if that feels good to you, and then the right ankle to the left knee. Creeping the left foot close. You know you can do this on the chair as well. You might be sitting there. Svarupa yoga, another style just for the back. And they do this 4 square from the chair. The foot or the ankle would be right under the knee if you were sitting in a chair, and then you would lean forward to get more of a hip opener on the right side. Breathing. Similar to the yin style of yoga, Svarupa teachers keep us in the posture for time. 3 breaths, 5 breaths, 10 breaths or more. The hips are connected to the lower back. Breathe into the place where you feel this posture. Slowly come out. Left foot to the floor if it was high up. Move the block to the side if you had your foot on the block. And then just shift your knees loosely side to side. We're going to come into one more back bend and an inversion with the block or without. So coming into bridge pose, you walk your feet as close to your hip bones or sitting bones. 10 toes straight ahead. You could do a couple gentle push downs with the lower back. And then the next time the tail is tipping up, press into your feet, peel your hips up and off the floor. You might like to moving yoga. Up and down with bridge, moving bridge, or you might stay up in the full expression, using your strong big toes to press down, engaging the upper thighs, feeling the muscles, the big muscles of the hips rotating out and in. And then at your own pace, moving a block or a zafu, something firm, underneath your lower back, somewhere between the tail and the lumbar. And then reaching the legs straight up for the inversion. You might rather be legs up the wall or calves on the chair. Your gaze could be straight up at your toes. You could close your eyes. Our attention is at the spiritual eye. Long ago, I remember being in a class in this position, Viparita Karani, and everything seemed to come into place. Take your time. Coming out of the posture, lowering the feet one at a time, and then lifting off the block. Slide it out, straightening the legs at your own pace. Restorative yoga restores energy to the body, and you might come into fish or the heart opener with a prop, like a blanket or a bolster. We did this recently at the request of one of our classmates. So the bolster could be close to the hips and you roll over it, bolster right on the spine or perpendicular to the spine. It's a heart opener wherever you are. If the legs straight out don't feel good, you could bend the knees. Let the knees fall together and breathe. Wherever the prop is, or if you didn't choose a prop, you can feel the back of your head connected, the heart open, the throat open. Purposely opening the central channel at a place that often cramps up. When the back is rounded, because most everything we do is a forward bend, the middle of the chest caves in. So we've already been here about 3 breaths. If you're on the floor, you'll roll to the side, take the prop out, and then come right back on your back and breathe. Preparing for relaxation posture. Take your time. Legs could be bent or straight. Before relaxation, before any pose, we come back to the central channel. We make adjustments anywhere from the chin to the shoulders, arms, legs. If laying on your back is no good, you could lay on your side or even your belly. If you'd rather be in a chair. The purpose of relaxation is to release activity in the muscles. Let the breath wash over you and through you. Scan the body. Notice what you can let go of here, physically, mentally, emotionally. Accepting our path. Sat Nam. I am healing, body, mind, and spirit. The purpose of this very important posture, relaxation, is to allow the physical body to rest in hopes that the mind will follow, and then a connection we might feel with the spirit, our true self, soul. Embracing unity within ourselves, body, mind, and spirit. in unity with each other. The light within. I see soul as the center of my existence. At the center of my being and in the center of my heart, there is light, love, and divine spirit. It allows me to see life as more than just a collection of random circumstances. When I turn my back on this energy of light, I live in relative darkness. Life seems meaningless and uninspired. It is the light that gives definition, shape, and form. It allows me to see the beauty that surrounds me. I have divine light within me. I am the light within me. Sat Nam. You might take a deeper breath in at this point. Feel the rise in the belly. In this open and undefended place, you could send your breath anywhere in your form, in any part of your form, physical, mental, emotional. Move a little, returning to the physical form, a breath at a time. Bending or stretching, coming back the way you like to. Take your time here. Rolling to the side, eventually pressing yourself up to a comfortable seat. Palms together at the heart. Thumbs could even rest on the chest. Bowing to your true self, tipping your chin down. Eyes could be closed or softly opened. And then lifting the chin, breathing in and up. Exhale the ah sound, connecting to the heart center. Inhale again, feel the chest rise against the thumbs. Exhale, namaste.